All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here today. Hopefully you can hear us okay and see the screen like I mentioned a moment ago. We're going to have a PowerPoint presentation that sets the stage for our live demonstration. Again, we'll have that live Q&A towards the end, so there's a chat feature available. Our team is standing by if you do have technical difficulties, so please reach out to us at succeed@avenueinsights.com. We're extremely excited to launch our first in a series of webinar demonstrations where we'll be introducing Avenue's newly released Clearview Property Tax Suite. These webcasts will be a series of live demos over the next 3 weeks of all 3 property tax solutions, including Clearview Valuation Analytics, which we'll be discussing today, Clearview Property Tax Manager, and Clearview Valuation Manager in the next subsequent weeks. So we'll have our first in the series today. As you've seen in many of the promotional materials, the next couple of Thursdays, same time, same place, we'll be going over those other solutions that we'll be rolling out as a part of our newly released Property Tax Suite. Each one of our presentations will give an overview of each solution, and then it'll be followed by a live demonstration where you can comment, you can provide feedback. We'd love to hear from you if you have questions about it. We'll be answering those live at the end of each presentation. So with that, I'd like to introduce our guest speakers today. First, my name is Brennan Middleton. I'm part of the marketing team at Avenue. I'll be your moderator today, and I'll also be facilitating those chats and questions and asking the team for their input based upon their feedback. Next, I'd like to introduce 2 of our guest speakers who will tag team the presentation, but also will be partnering together to provide that demo. Amy Walters is our business unit leader of the Finance and Tax Group. Amy is bringing over 20 years of experience in federal, state, and local government. Her background has been in geographic information system mapping that includes data development, analysis, and application development specifically. Her passion has resided in spatial analytics, and especially as it relates to local government and how her solutions and her team can help improve decision making on a daily basis. In the past 10 years, Amy has worked for or in partnership with a majority of the major providers of tax and CAMA solutions across the country to state and local governments. So Amy, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Brennan.
Next, Al Ailes, Avenue's Senior Sales Executive for the Avenue Finance, Tax, and Valuation Group. Al's bringing with him as well over 20 years experience in state and local government. He's a certified project manager who has implemented large-scale applications across the globe. He's a frequent speaker and trainer and specializes in forming strategic alliances and programs that add value to the customer relationship. Prior to Avenue, Al led operations in a southern region for a multinational property tax and appraisal solution. So Al, thanks for being here. Looking forward to the presentation.
Thank you, Brennan.
So next, let's just quickly run through what we're going to talk about today, go over the agenda. First, we're going to give an overview of Clearview Valuation Analytics and what the key features that we'll highlight in our demo. Next, we're going to talk through and discuss how this GIS-based toolset is configurable with any CAMA system and how it is enabling jurisdictions to validate property values, enhance reporting capabilities, and ultimately provide transparency to your constituents. Following the overview and background, Amy and Al will both walk through a live demonstration of Clearview Valuation Analytics where we will go through the dashboard overview. We will discuss sales ratios. We'll talk through comparative sales and at the end perform a thematic mapping exercise. Lastly, we'll discuss what next steps are and what success looks like for your jurisdiction, and we'll give the opportunity for you in the end to provide feedback, provide comments, provide questions that you may have about the product or about next steps and how this can provide value to your jurisdiction. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Amy. Take us into the overview.
Sure. Thank you so much, Brennan. And thanks, everyone, for joining us today. We're really excited to be able to share this first step of our Clearview Valuation Analytics solution with you. We worked with a great team to get this off the ground, including some of you, some GIS specialists, our in-house experts, data analysts, and IAAO certified consultants. Our first review of the solution today will focus on the initial release of our sales ratio and comparative sales modules. For our Minnesota customers, we're providing the option for you to run sales ratios, leveraging the DOR sales listing or your CAMA data. Today, I'm going to walk through the DOR sales listing and how you can import that. I will pass it on to Al for the next slide.
All right, thank you, Amy. The who, right? Why are we here? Assessors and appraisal teams. But more importantly, I wanted to start off by thanking you. We know it's some pretty tough times. A lot of you I've either met with or spoken with on the phone are dealing with some pretty limited staff. So for that, I want to thank you and start off by telling you I appreciate you taking the time to join the call here. Clearview Valuation Analytics, right? CVA. On that title slide, improve valuations, increase transparency, and reduce risk. That's what we're really trying to do here. And we tailored this, of course, for our assessors and their appraisers that work with them. What we did in Avenue was pull together a team. I think we would all agree we're in a happened upon profession, right? Both Amy and I, 20 plus years of doing this. I think anybody goes to school to appraise just yet. I think there might be a few courses, but not many. Certainly not a degree program. So what we gained, we've learned from an investment of time and money into IAAO, into training, into taking the classes to make this science as accurate as we can. And that's what this tool is intended to do. Taking from that, Avenue has devoted a lot of time and money into gaining the domain expertise to be able to put this tool together. And with your help, got some great insight into what you're looking for to improve valuation, increase transparency, and to reduce that risk. So to that end, why we're here, right? We're going to verify those valuations. We want to make sure that the data you're sending off to the DOR is as accurate as it possibly can be. And more data, folks, is always a good thing. And Amy's going to show you through the tool how we can display that information and give it to you in the most intuitive way possible. Ensuring those values are fair. Well, if you could, yeah, just ensuring that they're fair. You've had many people, once notices go out, I'm sure, standing at your counter and asking you to explain. To give you yet another tool to use for that explanation and be able to pull up comparable properties in the same neighborhoods and show them definitively how those values are derived. And we're going to leverage your data. We're going to take your CAMA system information and really use that as the basis here, or the DOR file, and Amy's going to go through examples of those. All right. A fully hosted cloud solution. What does that mean, right? Fully hosted cloud solution means we've heard, we've talked, and we've listened to a lot of folks that have explained the IT resources in a lot of jurisdictions are limited. How can we help by using the cloud and utilizing some of the latest technologies to assist? Greatest opportunity that we have from cloud solutions is the ability to leverage all of the technical work on our side of the business, specifically the upgrades. We're going to be enhancing this product, and just like any software product, there's going to be releases and upgrades to the solution. Those upgrades are included and placed out into the cloud and upgraded for you. So really the impact on your end is simply access to a web browser. And that thin footprint on your technology really gives you a lot of flexibility on how to utilize the solution. It's subscription management based, so cost has really been considered in how we put this tool together and offering it in a subscription fashion. And it's going to give you the ability for that instant customer service, right? That constituent who's at your desk and asking the questions with their notice in the hand of how can my valuation be? How did we arrive at this point? It's going to give you the tools and to quickly turn around those answers. Working with our partners at Esri, of course, Amy with the background in GIS has been instrumental in kind of leading the effort to make sure that we put a solution together that's going to be able to import and utilize all of the GIS functionality that we currently have today, and the latest and greatest at that. And it's CAMA system agnostic. Now, how I think the audience here is utilizing our CAMA systems. This solution will integrate with any CAMA system and simply provides an overlay of data on top of your existing CAMA information. This is the point where I pass it back over to Amy. Thank you, Brennan.
Excellent. Amy, Al, thank you for laying that foundation. At this point, we are going to transfer over and provide a live demo. So, Amy, I'm going to give you the cue here.
Great. So, as Al said, our first review is going to walk through our cloud-based offering. We're going to focus on the first two modules that we've developed today, and those are our sales ratio and comparative sales. And we will do a quick preview of some of the thematic maps we're building out as well. So I'm going to start on my dashboard. And this is where I can manage my property sets that I want to work with. It can be a full data set or something that I have pared down. If I want to load the entire DOR sales listing, I can do that, and also review summary information broken out by different stratifications after I run the process. Or I can work with a subset of records to focus on a city, town, or neighborhood. In future releases, we'll have some neat filtering options that will allow you to create subset data sets through criteria within the attributes of your data set or even on the map. You also can save as many data sets as you need to, or simply delete them as needed. So I'm going to start by loading a sales listing file for a sample jurisdiction. I'm going to click on Import Property Set. And choose the file on my local drive or a server. Click Open, and then go ahead and import it. So now it's ready for me to work with it. So I'm going to go right over to the sales ratio tool. And here's the base of the sales ratio tool. I'm going to select my property set that I just loaded. And I'm going to set the EMV year to 2019. I do have the option to add a time adjustment if I would like to, with a monthly rate percentage and then a due date. And then I also have some stratification variables. These will let me group my results based on city and town, water status, property type, or base region. I'm going to click city and town and water status. And I can change the ordering as well. So now I'm ready to run it, and I'm going to just click on Run. So my results are back. And in the top panel, I have a listing of all the parcels in my data set. This list contains some key information, such as the ECRV number, the EMV, and the net sales price. If the property is an outlier, it would also be highlighted in red, such as this parcel. Down below, I have my summary statistics. These are broken out by the stratification variables that I have selected. I'm going to go ahead and run one more. This is not, I'm going to add a couple more. I'm going to rerun it on another data set. I'm going to go back to my dashboard. Choose a file. And click Import. Let's take a look at this one. Click on 2019. I do city and town and water status, and then click Run. Okay. Let's see. So you'll see the stratification is broken down by city and town, and then water status. Down below in the summary statistics, it shows you the sales count, the median ratio, COD, PRD, and other key information. I'm also able to view these sales on a map. by clicking the map on the top panel. If you're zoomed out, the properties will be grouped, such as you see right now. As I zoom in, they will start to change to parcels. I'm going to go ahead and change my background so I can see the parcels a bit better. We do have a lot of options for the base map. I'm going to click the streets night. We can better see these outliers. I'm also going to expand the map here and enter the full screen. I'll open up our legend as well. So you'll see all outliers are outlined in red, and then we have the max and min sales ratio as set in the legend. I'm going to zoom right into one of these outliers here and click on it. You'll see there's a parcel ID, the ECRV ID, month and year of sale, the sales price, the estimated market value, and the sales ratio of 1.3. Let's take a look at another one. So this one has the same information with a sales ratio of 0.99, 99%. And continuing looking throughout my data set. So I'm going to close this and go back to my sales ratio. I do have the ability to save this. I'll click on Save Ratio, and it will save to my dashboard on my sales ratios. I'm going to go on to the Comparative Sales tool now. I'm going to select my subject parcel. I can select my max number of comps that I would like to pull back. On the left, we have some of those property filters that we were talking about to further refine my data set. I'm going to go ahead and move over to the comp parameters. And I'm going to select my effective year built. And land value. And we can rank these as needed for the weighted values. Then I'm going to click Run. This is going to pull back any of the comps that they can find in this data set. It's also going to calculate a similarity score to help you understand how similar the properties are.
Well, that's running. I guess I'll point out too on the dashboard features. It's highly configurable. It gives you the view that you want. So with 638 parcels as a choice, you can see 10. You can see a lot more than that. Should you want to put some lists together prior to going out into the field and doing your appraisal, certainly put a nice large subset of data out there for review.
Thanks, Al. So you'll hear my cards that are returned. My subject is over here on the left with a green indicator that matches the parcel on the map. And then all of my comp cards are listed out to the right. They each have an indicator as well in the upper left with the color indicator. I can zoom to each of these parcels just by clicking the magnifying glass. I can also interact with the parcels on the map. If I click on the parcel, I can view the details or I can remove it as a comp. If I look at the card, you'll notice that anything that I added as a weighted value is highlighted in blue. So I can remove things as a comp. If I know an area, I can also click on a parcel within that area and add it as a comp. If I click on Remove as a comp, it'll be removed. I also have the ability to just simply click the X. I'm now going to go through just a high-level overview of the thematic mapping. So we talked earlier about the filters. This is where we'll have some of the filtering tools that we will build out for the data subsets. And I'm going to select, let's do neighborhoods. This is pulling up the full data set, so this might take a minute. But this is the first round of our thematic mapping. We're starting to build this out, and I can select any of those attributes and display parcels on the map with that theme, whether it be a range for sales price, those kinds of things. Also looking to start to build it out so you can, if you say want to see all of your agricultural parcels that have a certain per square foot price, you can look at those. Let's give this a minute. And I'm sure there's other things that, you know, we'd love to get some feedback on from you guys as far as what you'd like to see in your maps and what's important for you to look at. High-level overview of all these neighborhoods. We can zoom in a bit. And then, you know, there is a legend here that we can look at for these neighborhoods. We can also change to, you know, sales price, building area, those kinds of things. A lot of options here. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to Brennan.
Excellent. Amy, thank you. Al as well. Appreciate it. Very in-depth presentation and demo there. Obviously, we could go into a more customized version of this for your jurisdiction at a different time. But Amy, let's switch and talk through what does success look like for these jurisdictions and ultimately what are next steps, and then we'll move into the question and answer portion.
Sure, Brendan, thank you. So I guess just to reiterate, this does integrate directly with CAMA USA, or you can use your DOR files. Really, we want to, you know, start the groundwork for the best-in-class solution for analytics. So this is, you know, our first base releases for sales ratio and comp sales, but we want to create that foundation for an expandable tool set to work with you on and help you make better decisions. So, you know, thank you for your time today for looking at this first review of our solutions, and you know, we look forward to any questions or feedback or input from you and your teams.
Excellent. So again, we've got a few questions rolling in right now and a couple of feedback comments that were made throughout, Amy, your presentation. But again, just before we jump into that, there's a chat feature here in the WebEx application. It should be in your top right-hand corner. If you could use that to provide any feedback or comments, or if you want us to answer live questions right now, we'd be happy to do so. So first one, Al, the one that came in is directed to you. It says, how long is a typical implementation for this product?
It's great. Both Amy and I have experience in project management. It's near and dear. Implementation for this tool and the real great part in the product is it's only going to take about 2 to 4 weeks, based on your configuration, based on the work that's necessary to get it stood up in the cloud for you. It's a 2 to 4 week implementation, so not very arduous. Nothing you need to assign dedicated resources to. It's a small project with a definitive start and a definitive end. So 2 to 4 week timeline to get this tool, the CVA tool, up and running.
Excellent. Okay, another one here, more specific to Minnesota, it appears. It says, is anyone in Minnesota currently using this application? And could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So we are working on setting up a few beta sites for certain jurisdictions in Minnesota. And looking for any feedback from those customers as we get those rolled out for testing.
I've spoken to many. Again, I had the opportunity to meet when I was still able to travel, and after that, we certainly spoke to many of you. If I hadn't had an opportunity yet to get out to your jurisdiction, I'd welcome the chance to come out, answer any questions that you have, and show you the tool in more depth.
Perfect. last one so far, and I think our last slide covers this one, and I'll go ahead and switch the slides over. But last question was, how do I get additional information on the product as my assessor wasn't available today? Number one, this recording is going to be provided to you for those in attendance immediately following the presentation today, as well as a copy of the slide deck. But you can reach out to us directly. You can contact us anytime. Al will be our main point of contact for this product and in regard to your jurisdiction. So you can reach out to Al directly. His phone number is here on the screen. Again, these slides will be provided as well as recording. So if you don't jot it down now, you'll have it in your inbox shortly. But you can also reach out to Al, al.ales@avenueinsights.com, and he'll be able to facilitate any questions you have.
I'm locked in the house sitting next to the phone, so I'm more than available for any questions or comments, and would welcome the chance once we're able to get out and about again to come up and provide a little bit more information.
Excellent. Well, with that, if there's no further comments or questions, again, on behalf of all of us today, I just want to say thank you for taking the time. I know it's a bit of a challenging time across the country for many of us, and a lot of us are short-staffed and we're working from home. So we sincerely appreciate you taking the 30 minutes out today. If you have additional questions, again, reach out to us directly. We'd be happy to get back to you as soon as possible. And we look forward to having you on our subsequent web series coming up in the next couple of weeks. Again, following this presentation will be our Clearview Property Tax Manager next Thursday, same time, same place, 1 o'clock Central. And then the following Thursday will be our Clearview Valuation Manager demo and overview, same time, again, Thursday, 1 o'clock Central. Thanks a lot. Enjoyed it. Talk to you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.